Hey, I'm going to tell you something that might be uncomfortable to hear. If you've hired a marketing agency in the last 2 years, there is a very high probability that they gave you some version of an audit when they pitched you. Maybe it was a fancy PDF with screenshots and red circles and phrases like missed opportunities and untapped potential. And most of those audits were completely useless. They were designed to scare you into signing a contract, not to actually diagnose what's wrong with your marketing. I know because I've seen hundreds of them, literally hundreds. And most of them look at surface level metrics, cherry pick the scary numbers, ignore the stuff that actually matters, and then hand you a proposal that conveniently solves everything for $3,000 a month. Today, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to walk you through the exact audit framework I use when I evaluate a criminal defense firm's marketing. The same process, the same 7 areas, the same red flags. By the end of this video, you'll be able to look at your own marketing and know with specificity what's broken, what's working, and what to fix first. Hey, my name's Dave Revere. I'm the founder of Legal Tamer and author of Unlocking New Client Acquisition for Defense Lawyers. We help criminal defense firms grow through better marketing, intake, and follow-up systems. Let's get into the audit. Before I walk you through the framework, let me explain why the typical agency audit fails you. Most audits look at your website and say it's slow or the design is outdated. Okay, but is that actually costing you clients? Most audits look at your Google ads and say your cost per click is too high. Compared to what? What's the benchmark for criminal defense in your specific market? Most audits look at your SEO and say, you're not ranking on page 1 for criminal defense attorneys. Sure, but are you ranking for the long tail terms that actually generate calls? A real audit doesn't just point out the problems. It connects those problems to revenue. It tells you this is broken, here's what it's costing you, and here's the priority order for fixing it based on what will move the needle fastest. That's what we're going to do right now. I evaluate every criminal defense firm's marketing across 7 areas. I'll go through each one, tell you what I look at, and give you the red flags I see most often. Area 1 is your website. Your website is the hub. Every marketing channel you have, Google ads, SEO, referrals, social media, even print. Eventually someone's going to your website. So if the website doesn't convert, nothing else matters. Here's what I look at first. Mobile experience. Over 60% of criminal defense leads are coming from mobile devices. If your site isn't fast, clean, and easy to navigate on a phone, you're losing more than half your potential clients before they even read a word. Second, clear calls to action above the fold. When someone lands on your homepage, can they see your phone number and a contact form without scrolling? If they have to hunt for how to reach you, they won't. Third, practice area pages. You should have a dedicated page for every major practice area you handle. DUI, drug charges, domestic violence, felonies, theft, whatever your bread and butter is. Each page should be substantive, not a paragraph and a stock photo. Real content that demonstrates expertise and addresses the specific concerns of someone facing that charge. Fourth, social proof. Testimonials, case results, review ratings, awards, and years of experience need to be visible on every major page, not buried on a separate testimonial page nobody visits. The red flags I see most often are no dedicated practice area pages, a phone number buried in the footer, no mobile optimization, and stock photos of gavels and scales of justice instead of real photos of the attorney and the team. If your website has a stock photo of a gavel on the homepage, I need you to remove it today. I'm serious. It screams generic. It tells the prospect, this could be any law firm. Put your face on there. Put your team on there. Be a real human. Area 2 is local SEO and your Google Business Profile. Your Google Business Profile, or GBP, formerly Google My Business, is arguably more important than your website for generating local leads. When someone searches criminal defense attorney near me, the map pack is the first thing they see. You're not showing up there. You're invisible to a massive chunk of your potential clients. Here's what I look at. Is your GBP fully optimized? That means correct business name, address, and phone number, correct business categories. And for defense firms, you should have multiple categories selected, a complete description with relevant keywords, real photos, not stock images, updated hours, and a link to your website. Are you posting to your GBP regularly? Google rewards activity profiles. weekly posts, even short updates about case law changes, community involvement, or educational content signal to Google that your business is active and relevant. What does your review profile look like? How many reviews do you have? What's your rating? Are you getting new reviews consistently, or did all your reviews come in during a 2-week burst 3 years ago? The red flags here are GBP with less than 20 reviews, no posts in the last 90 days, incorrect or incomplete business information, only one business category selected, and no photo or only stock photos. Area 3 is Google Ads. I covered this in depth in the last video, so I'm going to be brief here. But in an audit context, here's what I'm looking for. Campaign structure. Are campaigns separated by practice area? Keyword strategy. Are they using the right match types with an updated negative keyword list? Landing pages. Are ads going to dedicated landing pages, or are they going to the home page? Conversion tracking. Are they tracking calls and form fills back to the keyword level? Cost per lead and cost per signed client. Do they even know these numbers? The red flag I see most often in Google Ads audits is this. The firm is spending $3,000 to $5,000 a month. The agency can tell them their cost per click, but cannot tell them their cost per signed client. That's not management. That's waste. Okay, area 4 is reviews and reputation. Beyond just the GBP review count, I look at the entire reputation landscape. What does your AVVO profile look like? Are there reviews on Yelp, Facebook, or other platforms? If there are negative reviews, how were they handled? Were they responded to professionally? Were they ignored? Or worst case, were they argued with? I also look at the trend. Are you getting reviews consistently over time, or is it sporadic? Consistency matters in Google's algorithm, and it matters to potential clients who check the dates on reviews. The red flag here is a firm with a great star rating, but all the reviews are from 2 years ago. That actually looks worse than a single lower rating with recent reviews. Freshness matters. People want to know what your firm is like right now, not what it was like in 2023. Okay, let's talk about area number 5. That's the intake process. This is the area most audits completely ignore, and it's the one that matters probably the most. I covered this in detail a few videos ago, but in an audit context, here's what I'm evaluating. How fast do you respond to leads? If I fill out the contact form on your website, how long until someone contacts me? If I call your office at 2 in the afternoon, there's a human answer. What happens after hours? Do missed calls get a text back? What does the follow-up look like after a consultation? Is there a recap email? Is there an automated follow-up sequence? Or does the lead just disappear into the void? Is there a CRM in place? Can you tell me how many leads came in last month? How many became consultations? And how many signed? If you can't answer those questions, your intake process is broken. Even if every individual call goes great. The biggest red flag, and this is the most common one I see across every firm size and every market, is no defined follow-up process after the initial consultation. The consultation happens, the prospect says, "Let me think about it," and the firm does nothing. One follow-up call, maybe, then silence. That's where you're losing clients every single week. Area 6 is follow-up systems. This is related to intake, but extends beyond it. I look at whether the firm has systematic follow-up for leads that don't convert immediately, for former clients who might refer, and for past prospects who said no. Here's what I mean. If someone had a consultation with you 6 months ago and didn't sign, you have a system that stays in touch with them? Not aggressively, not "Are you ready to hire us?" but a monthly email, maybe a newsletter, a quarterly check-in, something that keeps your name in front of them. Because here's what happens. That person's situation might change. The charges might escalate. They might get rearrested. Their friend might get arrested. And when that happens, the firm that stayed in touch is the firm that gets the call. Most firms have no system for this. Zero. Leads that don't convert immediately are just gone. That's thousands of dollars in potential revenue that you already paid to acquire through ads, through SEO, or through whatever brought them in. And you're just letting it evaporate. So the red flags there are no email list, no newsletter, no nurture sequence, and no system for staying in touch with unconverted leads or past clients. Area 7 is content and authority. The last area I look at is content. Do you have a blog that's actively maintained? Are you creating content around the questions your potential clients are asking? Are you visible on YouTube, on social media, or in local press? Content serves purposes. First, it helps with SEO. Google rewards websites that produce fresh, relevant, authoritative content. A well-written blog post about what to do if you're pulled over for a DUI in your city can rank for years and generate leads passively. Second, and this is the one people underestimate, content builds trust before the first call. When a prospect is comparing 3 attorneys and one of them has 20 educational videos on YouTube and 50 blog posts on their website, and the other 2 have nothing, who do you think they're going to trust more? Who seems more knowledgeable? Who seems more invested in helping people? The answer is obvious. The red flag here is no blog, or a blog that hasn't been updated in over a year, no video content, no educational resources, website that says we're experienced but does nothing to prove it. Doesn't work. Okay, so you've gone through the 7 areas and you've found problems, probably a lot of them. Now what? You can't fix everything at once. So here's how I prioritize. Quick wins first. These are things that are easy to fix and have an immediate impact. Optimizing your Google profile, adding a phone number above the fold on your website, setting up a basic follow-up email after consultations, starting to ask every resolved client for a review. These are things you can do this week, some of them today, and they will start generating results almost immediately. Then foundational fixes. These take more time and investment, but they compound over time. Building dedicated landing pages for your Google Ads campaigns, implementing a CRM and automating your intake and follow-up sequences, launching a content strategy, fixing your website's mobile experience, rebuilding your Google Ads campaign structure. These are the things that create lasting competitive advantage. And here's the thing that ties all of it together. If you've been watching this series, you already know what I'm going to say. It's intake. It always comes back to intake. You can have the best website in the world, the best Google Ads, the best SEO, and the most reviews, but if your intake process is broken, you're pouring water into a bucket with holes all over the place. Fix the bucket first, then worry about pouring more water in. If you've gone through this audit framework and you're feeling a little overwhelmed, that's totally normal. The reality is that most firms have issues in multiple areas, and fixing them in the right order with the right approach truly matters. If you want help with this, and I'm going to be straightforward here, this is exactly what we do at Legal Tamer. We run the audit for criminal defense firms. We identify the gaps. We prioritize the fixes, and we either help you implement them or point you in the right direction. If that's something you're interested in, there's a link in the description where you can request an audit. No pressure, no hard sell. We'll look at your marketing and tell you what we find, and you can decide what to do with that information. But whether you work with us or not, the framework I just gave you, it works. Go through the 7 areas. Be honest about where you stand. Fix the quick wins this week. Start planning the foundational work. And above all, fix your intake. Now, next time, I'm going to be sharing something I've been thinking about for a while. There's a shift happening right now in how criminal defense firms generate clients, something most people in this space aren't talking about yet. And the firms that figure it out early are going to have a massive advantage. I'm not ready to say more than that, but if you've been getting value from this series, you're going to want to wait and see what's coming next. If this video helped you see your marketing differently, hit the subscribe button and drop a comment below. Tell me, which of the 7 audit areas do you think is your firm's weakest spot? I'll respond and give you my take on where to start. Share this with any defense attorney you know who needs a reality check on their marketing. All right, case closed. I'll see you in the next one.